Bonjour tout le monde, I'm Diane. Welcome back to We in France. And time again, the French language makes me smile when I often come across a fun to pronounce word or just one that is delightful to my ear, maybe something I've never heard before. Now, shortly after moving to France, I think it was my first summer here, Tom, my French husband, and I, we were watching a news program when the presenter said a word that I hadn't heard before, which was a very common occurrence, still is. And not knowing what a word meant, but having an idea from the context, my ears kind of perked up, like, what the heck are they saying? And then Tom confirmed the meaning to me, and it made me smile. And I thought, oh my gosh, of course the French have a word for this. The word that I heard was les aoûtiens. And let me tell you why it's an important one. All right, everyone, I'm Diane. Thank you for being here. And as I'm sure you know, the French, and frankly, a lot of Europeans, take summer vacation seriously. They will jet off somewhere for 2 or 3 weeks without an employer batting an eye, and it is their right as an employee in France. It's not a perk of working for a good employer. French culture understands rest and relaxation make better employees. And with a mandatory 5 weeks of paid vacation for employees and often a handful of holidays as well, France is onto something so good. The world can, newsflash, still function if people had time off, and a lot of it. Now, in my time living here, a little over a decade now, I've seen what an integral part vacation plays in the lives of French people. It forces them to get away, to unwind, and to live their life. Now, this time of year, summer vacation is pretty much all anyone talks about. You know, if you're going to have a little bit of chit-chat, the bakery or at the pharmacy when you're out and about with friends, you're either talking about where you're going or where you just got back from. And forget about like a measly 2 weeks of paid time off for the year, if you're lucky, that is.
In the U.S.,
it's true that the French, they really know all about work-life balance, and there are systems in place in France that make that possible. And they take vacation seriously, and it is something I love about France. So back to the word in my intro that I heard, les aoûtiens. And at first, I thought I was hearing Haitians, people from Haiti, which is similar, les haïtiens. And it wasn't until the news program, brought up the context of weekend traffic that I realized what les aoûtiens meant. And of course, when they put the word up on the screen, I understood. And as you might have guessed, if you know a little French, this term refers to people who vacation in the month of August. So if you know a little French, you know that août is the French word for August, but the pronunciation of this word for August vacationers, it's not aoûtiens, it's aoûtiens. So it's easy to miss if you're not familiar with it, like I wasn't. And something that even tickled me a little further, there's a word for vacationers who take their vacation in July, and that is les juilletistes. Juillet is the French word for July. Les juilletistes. Love that. Now, the news program, it was making people aware of the traffic situation, which is often an issue in the summer months here in France, out on the highways, les autoroutes, because les juilletistes et les aoûtiens, they were in the process of the July folks returning and the August folks setting out on vacation. So it was causing major traffic jams pretty much everywhere, and the news was making you aware of it. And I find it really fitting that the French have a word for this, like a specific word for people who vacation in a specific month, because I feel like in English, I don't know, you tell me, but we would need at least 2 words to express the same thing. Like I just said, August vacationers, August holiday makers, those who take vacation in August, and that sort of thing. But in French, everyone knows what les aoûtiens means, and you'll hear news segments about this. You'll see it in the newspaper, and just things like how they're clogging up the country's highways or to avoid traveling at this certain time or period. And maybe even that les aoûtiens, they account for a bump in local tourism in certain areas. But les aoûtiens, I feel like having the time of their lives out at the beach, and they're out in full force. And this is the kind of thing that you're going to hear on the news. The French language has plenty of words that make me smile and also make me hide. I think I did a video on that. But nothing explains the importance of vacation culture in France and just how seriously they take these priorities in life as actually making a word for like a summer vacation during a certain month. It's normal. It's French, and it's wonderful. And les aoûtiens, les juilletistes, they refer to so much more than just August vacationers. Yes, that's the literal translation, but it refers to a way of life in a place that truly understands how important it is to relax and recharge, not just for the mind and the body or for someone's work ethic, but for our soul, for who we are. Even if you're just staying home and not traveling anywhere, that rest time is so important. I think it should be important for any employer, for any employee. It shouldn't just be something that happens in certain countries, but The French have a lot going for them. They get this right. And let me know down below in the comments where you're going for summer vacation, if anywhere, if you're an aoûtien or aoûtienne, if you're female, or if there's any French words that make you chuckle when you hear them, or you just love them, like I love this one. And for those of you who are traveling to France this year, I have an e-guide with all kinds of tips to help you be a more well-informed traveler, tips on things like money, transport, going out to eat, and all that good stuff. It's titled 75 Beginner France Travel Tips for a Standout Trip, and I'd love if you checked it out down below. It should be linked in the description. And if you enjoy what I do here, buying my guide, it's a way to support my channel and ensure that my content here on We in France stays free, not behind a paywall, not behind a membership site. So yeah, as always, thank you for your support, and I will see you back here on We in France soon. And if you're going on vacation, bonnes vacances and salut!